All right, so we're diving deep today
Neat.
into a Filipino entertainment controversy
Ooh.
that has everyone buzzing.
Everyone.
Maris Racal and Anthony Jennings. Cheating scandal.
Yeah, you guys sent in a ton about this one.
Wow, so much to unpack. It's not just about them, though, right? This could have ripple effects throughout ABS-CBN, their whole network.
Absolutely. This scandal, it's not just impacting Maris and Anthony's careers. It could actually change how ABS-CBN handles its talent.
Okay, so for anyone who somehow missed this whole thing, super quick rundown. Maris and Anthony, both, rising stars,
Yeah.
get caught in this very public love triangle.
Love triangle.
With Anthony's ex, Jamela Villanueva. Now, both Maris and Anthony, they've both made public apologies, but will that even be enough? Especially since ABS-CBN, historically, they kind of stay out of their artists' personal lives.
Yeah, usually ABS-CBN only steps in, takes action.
Right.
When the artist does something that, hurts their professional image, if it affects how much money they can make.
But this time, the scandal, the image problem, totally. It's not just some behind-the-scenes thing. It's everywhere. It's all over social media.
Headlines.
The news, exactly.
Yeah.
Which means their marketability, that could take a serious hit. And their show, Can't Buy Me Love.
Oh, yeah, what about that?
Could face repercussions.
For sure.
And even their roles in the upcoming film and the Breadwinner is?
I was just thinking about that.
People are questioning it.
Yeah. And there's this whole other thing, too. How Jamela exposed the whole thing. She posted private messages between Maris and Anthony right there on Instagram. So that brings up some potential legal issues because of the Philippines Data Privacy Act.
Wait, hold on. Can you explain that for us? What exactly is the Data Privacy Act and how could it apply here?
Okay, so the Data Privacy Act basically protects people's sensitive information, right? It's supposed to prevent people from sharing it without permission. In theory, if you share private messages without consent, you could be breaking the law.
Oh.
It's tricky here, though.
Yeah.
Jamela might argue that, it was in the public interest to share that information.
Right.
But Maris and Anthony, they could sue her.
Wow. So there's this legal dimension on top of everything else.
Yeah, for real.
So much going on. It really makes you wonder. Put yourself in Jamela's shoes. What would you have done? Would you have exposed them like that?
I don't know. That's tough. And
Yeah.
people are already taking sides. Some fans are saying ABS-CBN needs to step up, do something.
Yeah.
Some even want them to get kicked off. And the Breadwinner is.
Wow.
Replace them entirely.
Look what happened with Kit Thompson, right?
Totally.
He got dropped from all these projects after that fight.
Oh, yeah. Ang Babesa, Grizzing, face mask.
Exactly. But replacing Maris and Anthony in the film at this point, it's so close to the Metro Manila Film Festival.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that.
That seems almost impossible. Logistically, it would be crazy.
It'd be chaos.
And then there's Vice Ganda. He's the lead, right?
Right.
Huge star.
Huge.
Box office draw. He released a statement, acknowledging the scandal. But he also talked about Maris and Anthony's chemistry on screen, trying to smooth things over.
Smart move, honestly.
It's ABS-CBN is doing this whole tightrope walk,
Right.
trying to keep everyone happy, trying to control this narrative.
Pitch control.
Without seeming totally tone deaf to, what the public thinks. Didn't they let Vice Ganda get grilled about this at that press conference for the film?
They did. And if we think back to how ABS-CBN has dealt with similar scandals, this seems it seems strategic.
Like a playbook.
Right. This let's have some controlled discussion while also buying time thing. Classic crisis management.
Yeah.
Gives Maris and Anthony time to figure out their apologies, try to fix things.
Okay, but let's talk about those apologies.
Okay.
Because they are not the same. Anthony's is very straightforward, right? Just, I messed up, I'm sorry. Classic bad boyfriend. But Maris, she's way more emotional, emphasizing that she was misled about Anthony's relationship.
Oh, yeah. She played that card hard.
She didn't know he was with Jamela.
That's interesting.
It's a very different framing, isn't it?
It is. Because it brings in these traditional ideas about gender roles.
Oh, yeah.
And how we see men and women. Anthony, easy to make him the villain, the one who should have known better, right? The cheater. But Maris, she's more of a victim, like the naive other woman who got...
Classic double standard.
Totally.
So frustrating. Okay, so we've got this public mess, potential legal problems, careers on the line, and everyone's got an opinion. The big question is, will ABS-CBN just stay neutral, hands off, or will they actually have to change how they deal with their talent because of this?
That's what I want to know. It's going to be fascinating to watch this unfold. I mean, typically, ABS-CBN, they've been more reactive, right? Dealing with scandals only when they absolutely have to.
Right.
Damage control, basically.
Yeah.
But this time, it seems like they're trying to be more proactive. Like that whole thing with Vice Ganda at the press conference.
Yeah.
That feels like almost trying to get ahead of the backlash.
Yeah. So less about putting out fires and more about, like, carefully managing the flames.
Exactly. But it's tricky. They got to protect their artists.
Those are investments.
Right. Big investments.
Yeah.
But they can't just ignore what the public thinks either.
They need to protect their image, too, like as a network.
Totally. That's high stakes, for sure.
This whole thing, it makes you think about, like, artist accountability in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Should celebrities be held to a different standard, a higher standard because they're in the public eye?
It's tough. It's not always clear-cut, right? What they do in their personal lives doesn't always affect their work.
I guess.
But then you've got social media, and suddenly everything's public. It's amplified.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And in this case, like their actions, they have consequences for other people, too. They're co-stars.
Yeah, the crew working on the project.
Everyone involved, right? There's a whole ecosystem.
It's bigger than just Maris and Anthony at this point. It's about the whole Philippine entertainment industry.
And how the media covers it all, too.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
What they choose to focus on, the words they use, the pictures they show.
The narrative they're creating.
Exactly. It all influences how people see this whole thing. So they have to be careful, try to be as fair and objective as possible.
Okay, let's talk more about the apologies themselves.
Okay.
You mentioned before how they were framed so differently.
Yeah.
What really stuck out to you about how each one was written?
Well, the good thing is both admitted they were wrong.
Yeah.
That's like step one.
Right. Acknowledging it.
If you want people to trust you again.
Yeah.
But like you said, the tone, the focus, totally different. Anthony's was very direct, straight to the point, accepting responsibility.
Like he owned it.
Yeah, he even said, like, I want to apologize for hurting Jamela. It's my fault. Taking the blame.
And Maris, hers was much more emotional, right? She was talking about feeling like lost and alone.
Mm-hmm. And getting the attention from Anthony that she felt like she needed.
Yeah.
And she kept saying that she tried to figure out what was going on with Anthony and Jamela. Like she really believed they had broken up.
Yeah. So she's painting herself as the victim here.
Right. That classic other woman image. The innocent one who got tricked by the bad boyfriend.
Which, whether it's intentional or not, totally changes how people see this.
Oh, yeah.
They both made mistakes. But Anthony's the one getting most of the blame.
Goes back to those gender roles we were talking about.
It's so frustrating.
The man is always the one who messed up, right? He strayed. The woman. She's the innocent one who was taken advantage of.
It's such a double standard.
It is. And it happens all the time.
It really makes you wonder, are people even buying these apologies? Like, is saying sorry going to be enough to save their careers?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Public opinion's fickle. And the internet. It never forgets.
True.
Maris and Anthony have a long way to go if they want to fix their image.
And what about ABS-CBN? How do they fit into this? Will they, try to help them rebuild their careers? Or will they just distance themselves, protect the network?
So many unknowns, right? This whole thing raises a lot of really interesting questions. Like, what's the responsibility of these networks?
Yeah.
Is it enough to just stay neutral, especially when something like this could hurt their reputation?
Yeah, what message are they sending?
Right.
To their artists, to the public?
Exactly.
What are their priorities here? Talent over, integrity, profits over principles.
And what about us, the viewers? What's our responsibility in all of this? Our choices, what we watch, what we talk about online.
It all matters.
It all shapes the entertainment landscape, right?
It's like we're all part of this system, and this scandal, it's like a chance to look at how it all works. What do we expect from our celebrities? From the networks? From ourselves as, consumers of entertainment?
Big questions.
Big questions. It's definitely a conversation worth having.
Yeah, because if we can have a more, accountable industry,
yeah,
everyone wins, right?
So I think the main takeaway here, and I'm talking to you, the listeners, is don't just watch this drama unfold. Engage with it.
Be a part of it.
Think critically about what you're seeing and hearing.
Question everything.
Hold everyone accountable, the artists, the networks.
Even ourselves.
Exactly. Your voice matters. What you watch, what you say, your choices online.
It all adds up.
And remember, there's always more to the story than what you see on the surface.
Keep digging, keep questioning, keep pushing.
That's what makes a real deep dive.
That's it.
That's all for today, Deep Divers. We'll be back soon with another deep dive. Until then, stay curious.
Stay engaged.
And keep exploring. This whole thing with Maris and Anthony, it feels like it goes beyond just them,
Yeah, definitely.
It's making people think about how the whole industry works here in the Philippines.
Yeah, how much responsibility do the networks have? Should ABS-CBN be doing more to, make sure their artists are behaving.
Right. Because saying nothing, just staying neutral, like, that still sends a message.
It does.
To the artists and to the viewers.
It's like, what's more important to them?
Yeah.
Protecting their talent or like having some moral high ground, money or principles?
Exactly. And then there's us, the audience. What about our role in this?
Right. Do we have any responsibility?
We watch their shows. We talk about them online.
Our choices have power.
It all contributes to this, like, ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
And maybe this scandal, it's a chance to look in the mirror a bit.
Yeah.
Ask ourselves what we want from our celebrities, from the networks, even from ourselves as viewers.
Yeah, it's a good time to think about that. What do we value?
And hopefully, like, by having these conversations, we can push for a better industry, one where everyone's more accountable.
Accountability is key.
So deep divers, that's what we want you to do. Don't just sit back and watch this all unfold. Be a part of the conversation.
Engage. Make your voice heard.
Next, think about what you're seeing, what you're reading. Don't just accept everything at face value.
Do your own research. Ask questions.
And hold people accountable, the artists, the networks.
Yeah.
Our choices matter.
They do.
What we watch, what we say online, it all shapes things.
For sure. And never forget, there's always more to the story than what you see on the surface.
Keep digging, keep asking questions. That's what makes a deep dive a deep dive.
Absolutely.
That's it for today, Deep Divers. We'll be back soon to explore some more fascinating depths with you. Until then, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep exploring.